Alright, hello everyone. Anyone? One person, maybe, hopefully. Anyways, I'm going to give my subjective experience in a weird life that I have experienced recently in my life for the past about 9 months to a year. This is purely what I view every day and can't mistake as some form of group or organized harassment or some type of it's also known as, but looked down upon when I say this usually, but like a gang stalking scenario that I see before my eyes every day of my life, some more intensely than other days and some others less, but nonetheless it continues and is unmistakable to me. I try to stay skeptical of what I see because I do not want to be adding to the already interesting and unfortunate and psychologically stressing life that is in front of me each day from this experience. So I try to just, what comes, I will try to document, remember, understand, learn from, but not add more to it, so at the beginning of this experience I sometimes would, and almost you're driving yourself nuts because then everything around you becomes what would be actually insane to that capacity. Now, it already is insane to any minor capacity what I am trying to get at explaining here, but it's very much created from whatever this is, to make you lose your mind, because it's impossible to prove. It's an everyday behavior by the individuals that I watch participate. It's not abnormal, very much what they're doing, and the only way it becomes abnormal is by excessive behavior, by personalized harassment, by perpetual, over and over each day happening to you and desensitizing you to what you're looking at. And obviously desensitized is probably the opposite of sensitized. So sensitive to, you become desensitized to what's happening in front of you. And I don't know what's going on. I don't know, but it's an unbelievable thing to experience. It's so unbelievable I don't believe myself. I don't believe myself. Every morning I wake up and I go, I want to reset what I understand so that I, again, know I am not helping create what I am seeing, but in fact maintain a mature, skeptical, stress-free view of what I'm seeing. And while I've gone both ways and definitely added to it all, you just continue to learn from it and realize that you cannot become, your own worst enemy in that way. Even if it's real or not real, you cannot do that. And so I'm trying to, maintain that attitude and not do that. The other day I was in Pullman for work. I slept overnight at a parking lot in front of a church, like a church coffee shop. And I'll give you just the example of something that happens to me constantly, to a point of like, okay, that's obviously purposeful, right? Anywhere I will go, pretty much anywhere I will go, if I park, there's a few different things that will continue, or that will happen, okay? You'll either get one person parked close to you, but, directly in front of you, usually with their lights on, just sitting there with their car running. just in a way that's obviously not that weird to maybe you or the normal person that doesn't experience it or become desensitized to it. But to me, in my experience and the perpetual motion of it, I obviously can tell what's going on. So that'll happen directly in front of you, maybe side. I've even one time had it, people in their vehicle in front of me, to the side of me, to this side of me, almost like a boxed in scenario. And those are the types of things, right? Just like obvious for me, but not for others. It's not dangerous. It's not dangerous in that regard, right? It's psychologically just hard to deal with because it's so hard to show people. I have a video of that one actually, so that's pretty cool to be able to show people. I gotta find that, but yeah. So back to the situation with Pullman. I woke up and I woke up and I was in a parking lot. It was mostly empty. To my right, parked next to me as I was backed in against the front side of the store or coffee shop, was a vehicle with nobody inside. And directly next to me, by the way, in that parking spot, and directly to the left was another vehicle parked to the very left of me, and there was a fellow inside that vehicle just sitting there doing absolutely nothing, as there was plenty of other places to park, but again, not a huge deal. I understand people just maybe they were looking at my car, they liked it, cool, whatever, sure, open to it, fine. It was odd when I wake up, he starts putting a seatbelt on, car in reverse, and ready to take off. And a general inquiry to what time it was, I opened my door and asked him, hey, do you know what time it is? Because I had just woken up, my phone was dead, and just wanted to know for sure what time it was. I had to go to work. That's the whole point of me staying the night there, was to be ready to go because it was a few hours away and be on time. Woke up, he takes off, tells me the time before that, and goes about whatever he's doing. Again, not super weird to the average person, but weird to me because almost every parking lot I go to, all the open spots, people pick the spot right next to me, and a lot of times the other side of me, and it's becoming obvious to me more and more, and that's why it's notable, okay? Now, about an hour later after this incident, obviously I'm going about my work day. I'm at the gas station. I had misplaced my ID and was looking for it at the gas station. I was at a pump. I was going to pump my gas afterwards. So I'd been in the spot for a little while, maybe 10, 15 minutes, looking for my ID. And a vehicle pulls up behind me, and there's a lot of open pumps around me. And actually, every single pump was open. I was the only one at the gas station pumps, okay? Now, that vehicle behind me pulls up right behind me, and I find it odd because there's plenty of open pumps, and out of my kindness of heart would go, oh, ma'am, I'm going to be here in a minute. Don't waste your time waiting for me, when there's clearly open pumps that you can choose, and you'll be, it wouldn't be that weird, right? To choose a pump that's open, right? Instead of wait for somebody that's possibly not even done. So I got out and just said, hey, is there a reason why you chose this pump? It's just a little bit interesting to me that you chose this pump because there's open pumps. Wasn't in a diesel vehicle, and I wasn't at a diesel pump to where maybe that was my mistake and going, oh, my bad, that's why you're waiting, because it's the only pump that's diesel and I'm at it. It's not the case. Not the case at all. She was in a Toyota Tacoma gasser, and I was at a gas pump. I got out and asked her, hey, what's going on? And she says, oh, that's my favorite pump. That's my favorite pump. And those are the moments where I go, okay, I'm again not going to make something super freaky about that. But again, after every single day for 9 months, going through similar weirdness and unexplainable techniques of harassment that only I can see and just over and over, I go, there's one that's just so obvious to me, so real, so right in front of my eyeball, so like, nah, that's not normal. That's not like, come on, you're there's no reason for that. There's no reason for the rudeness, because she kept saying, just move. And it's like, no, I'm going to see. And while I make these videos, you guys, I have a hard time with this, is that right before me all the time, I'm experiencing it. So it's very distracting, it's very difficult, because it's just all the time. It's all the time. In such stupid little ways, man. It's such an unexplainable organization that it's tough. It's a tough thing to deal with. I don't know why it's happening to me, but if you're going through this type of thing, man, like, be skeptical and be really, really, really wanting it to not be your reality. You know, like, make sure you're seeing what you're seeing is real. Test yourself out, right? Make sure you're not creating it, because it's really important that you maintain the relationship with yourself as truth, and not wanting the attention or wanting this to be something of a victim lifestyle, or like, you have to maintain that relationship with yourself so that you know and can believe in yourself that you're not crazy and you're not making something the reality that it is. Okay? So when you do that, you can kind of have some sense of normalcy, because, okay, well, sure, it's a weird experience and it's unexplainable, but at least I know that it's real and it's happening. And then you can kind of go from there. So that's where I'm at right now, is like, hey, you know what? I really do understand that I am in the reality I am. And so I will continue to maintain that mindset. I'm going to give you one more indication of odd behavior that is noteworthy, and that is in a very, very obvious way. When I pull up to gas stations, stores, I might be doing something in my vehicle to where my attention is not on the vehicles around me, people around me. And it's very odd, because, you know, I might notice a vehicle, oh, there's just a vehicle and another vehicle. They're all parked like a normal situation. I might notice them and not even put my brain to them. And when I take my attention off of my everyday, whatever I'm doing, grabbing a cigarette, whatever, right? Wiping my dash down, I look up. This is one of the most interesting things to see, is you immediately begin to see people getting out of their vehicles, right? The second your attention is put back to what you see before you, that's when it's like they're looking at in your rear views, and the second you get to their attention, it's like a purposeful, let's show him that we are harassing him. By the second he gives their attention, oh, let's get out of our car. Let's go about our day. And that's really, it's a tough one, dude. Because it's like, oh wow, you guys really are doing this. Like, obviously, like, it's obvious. Another one is people will sit at their gas pump doing nothing, looking at me with their tinted windows, maybe not tinted, but it's hard to see in vehicles to the point of their rear views anyway. But I won't, again, same type of thing. My attention's off of those things. The second I give my attention to them, they get out of their vehicle to pump the gas. The second, like, so they're sitting there, and then I look up, and then, oh, just going about my normal day. Look, here I am, pumping my gas. But, like, if I had not looked up, I have tried to test it out as well, and they wouldn't even get out of their vehicle until my attention is put to them. And so it's like a very theater-like experience to watch, right? It's like, okay, yeah, that was made for me. You're doing that so that I notice that, to annoy me, to make me know that I know that is happening purposefully for me. Okay, because would this happen in a normal person unless you're being watched? Do you see how that is the case? Like, watched or just harassed? Because a normal person just sitting there, and then you see three people get out of their vehicles at the same time. As soon as I look up, that is noteworthy to anybody. You'd be like, what the fuck? That was weird. Coincidence? Not every day. Not every day, 24/7. right? That's made for you. I don't know if any of this clicks with anyone, but I can tell you this much. I have intuition and just a normal sense of logic, and it's when I use those forms of thinking that I go, what the fuck is happening? I don't care what anyone tells me, I will go to my death with the understanding of what I'm seeing before my eyes. And it's just fucking weird. A lot of people want to say, oh, well, just go about your life, this, that, and the other. But I'm telling you this, I'm not perfect, I make mistakes, I've been in trouble in my life, I've done things wrong, I'm fucked up. So maybe I deserve some form of what? I don't think I'm not a criminal. I know I'm not a criminal. So all I'm trying to get at is, for me, it's worth helping out. This it's a legal activity, right? Anything organized to this degree, which it is, constitutes it as a legal activity. And, that's why it's worth it for me to give some insight into that experience, because one day it will have to be exposed. And if there's anything I might be made for in my life, because I'm an interesting person in that regard. Like, I don't know what I'm best at, other than, like, I do observe things very well. It seems like I have a sense of what's going on around me. And so if there's anything I might be made for, it might be to bring light to this, because there's people going through it that don't deserve it, and it's not normal, right? I can't go about my normal course of life without being harassed. It is dangerous at certain points. It is people like that right there in the Tesla that just sit there and eat. This is so fucking funny. And and so it's over and over, right? It's to a point that it's obvious. So, and I get distracted, so I apologize for I'm not probably getting right back to what I was speaking on, but it's worth it for me to try to document, try to tell people about, because I can't be the only one. I know I'm not the only one, and I know I'm not a bad person or deserving of such torture, because it is. It is also, like I was trying to get at, there we go, is it's dangerous at times. People pull out in front of me in abnormal ways, dude. Like, just like, or people, pedestrians, right? To get me to, like, stay on my toes, or if I am on my phone, like 95% of people are, not all the time, maybe on their phone, but, look down at your phone, change the music, send a quick text. They try to get me in those moments, because, like, immediately, people that are just walking straight just go right, like, just walk right in front of me, and I have to slam on my brakes. I mean, it's just, like, constantly, though. It's like, okay, really, dude? Pretty sure that's kind of harassment. Constant, like, fuck with you type of behavior. Like bullying, right? On the freeway going 70 normal miles an hour, I see two vehicles to the left of me on the shoulder with their flashers on. Don't think much of it. Normal stuff. In my, seeing them, I, begin to look at my, my mirrors to switch lanes. So now that Tesla just pulled into a parking lot diagonally from me, and now sat there for 5 minutes looking at me. Not even 5 minutes, 2 minutes looking at me, and now it's taking off at random again, closing their doors when they open it for no reason. So it's things like that right there. So anyways, back to that story is basically, as I was looking in my mirrors, the vehicles immediately, and I'm coming in hot at 70 like a normal vehicle should, maybe 70, probably less. They immediately, this was one of the most dangerous situations I've been in, this type of experience I've had. And they just pull out right in front of me, right? To the point where I have to slam on my brakes on the freeway to where I'm skidding and screeching. Okay? Both of the cars. How do two cars at once not see a vehicle with its lights on at night coming when you're on the freeway? It's a dangerous situation in the first place. And they pull, so purposeful and so unbelievable But I literally, I mean, I've never been so upset in my life, man. What if my son was in the vehicle with me? Like, do they understand that? Like, what the fuck is that? I mean, my brakes are not doing well right now, by the way. And dude, I don't even, if I was just looking down at my phone for a split second longer, smashed them. I don't know. Is that what they want? Is that what anyone wants? Is that really a coincidence? I don't understand why it would happen to be 24/7. And it just, that one is really dangerous. I've had very similar things like that. Constant. Cars may be going super slow some days. Like, really slow. Like, just slow as they can to where it's like, okay, dude. Thanks, man. You're obviously part of something. Again, I keep my skepticism. I try not to play into it, but it's my experience, and I am just trying to tell you what I experience. Okay? I don't know what to do about it because nobody believes it. Your own family or parents will have a very hard time because sometimes, I've had a past of lying to people or wanting attention in certain ways, and I'll admit that. But I admit that in a small degree, so it's not like I really, really, really constantly am just going around telling people things that are not true. I just, to be liked, I've done things in that light, right? So just to be better off, like anyone. So I just want to put that out there, so I'm not like, oh yeah, that's that. He thinks he can do whatever he wants, and no, I don't. I've learned from those experiences. I've grown up from them, and I don't want to continue down that way at all, because it does invalidate me, and I don't want to be invalidated. I want to be an honest human being, keep my word, so I can maintain my maturity and just take it seriously, because this is a serious thing I'm experiencing. It's illegal, and it is serious. One more thing before I kind of end this. I'm going to probably put this on YouTube. I've never really put any public stuff out there, and I've been, making videos variously, trying to, document it or tell people about it. But I've not been able to get over the fact that people are going to think I'm nuts. But I don't really care anymore. It's true. It's my reality, and I've been skeptical enough, so I am merely going to do what I can. So I will put that out there. But one more thing, what was I trying to say? Let's see. Yeah, I don't know, I forgot, but I hope this does help. I hope somebody watches this. I hope, you can make it through the 23 minutes, because I might be skipping around a bit, and might not make sense unless you do. If you have questions, just leave a comment. Don't think that I am above answering questions, or I'm above having an open mind. I'm open to me being insane. I'm open to me being delusional, because I understand in those experiences of being delusional, you believe what you see. You are insane. You see. That's why I'm open to, because I don't want to be above what I don't know, because I know that you don't know what you don't know. And so if I have that, I think that's somewhere to start, and that's mature and not insane in itself. So I will try to maintain that way of thinking. I've done a lot of things to try to help. I've called the police. I've had some pretty interesting experiences with that, and I have only gotten the same kind of responses of, well, who's the specific person? And again, it's like, nice, I see what you're doing there, because I cannot give you a specific person. And what I can do is I can tell you that it's obvious and it is organized, and that's kind of why I'm calling you, because if it was a specific person, I might be able to deal with it myself. I could go, hey man, why are you doing this? And if I see you again, there's going to be an issue, therefore stop. But I can't with this situation, and that's why it's often looked at as delusional or crazy, because it's the things that would show proof that they do not give you, right? So a real obvious stalking to the everyday person, right? I can't take a video and show someone, because it's a switch off. It's so many people involved that it is impossible to prove and you will be looked at as you're losing your fucking mind. And again, it's like that. It's those things that is so well organized that makes it really difficult, and why it probably works in whatever common goal they have. And now I'm thinking, and let me end this soon here, but now I am understanding, I remember what I was trying to say. And that is that the people around me that I have spoken to when I feel they are a perpetrator of this organized harassment, or what it may be, I will confront them in some regard, like, hey, are you understanding of anything called group style harassment, or do you know about it? And, I'll get all sorts of reactions that, maybe surprise or fake surprise, or like, no, tell me about it. And all of them that I know for sure are them. It's interesting because the more local people and things like that, I realize they don't know what they're doing. I realize they don't actually understand what they're doing. And it gives me the indication that they are given information from whatever, don't want to say how or what it is, because I do not know how this works. I just am explaining what my experience is, once again. And so, but it just seems like it's like a trickle down of information. And at the local level, or everywhere I go around the area, I don't believe people are bad or would ever want to do this to someone. But I do believe that they would do it, and most communities are thinking in a way of like, let's keep it safe, let's work together, let's make sure nobody vandalizes or ruins, or, right? Criminals are not okay. We want to keep our eye out on them. And that's why I believe that at the level that I see and experience it, most of them have a good heart and want the best. And so that's why I believe that it's like they aren't given information that is very straightforward, simple, and to a T in common with everyone around them that might be involved. And it's just like, hey, we're going to watch this person, he's a criminal, here's some information, why or what, and you just follow this direction, and that's it, right? And so it makes me think that, because I just don't think it's possible for them to be in on some conspiracy of governmental control, even if that's the case, right? Which I am not inferring to, but if it was, let's say, because anything is possible, it makes more sense to me that it would start from that point and go down as a trickle into what works best for them to be manipulated by the top of whatever starts that. And so at this level, how it's possible for a community to be involved, how it's possible for everyone to be participating, would be that it's a community policing situation, and that's their belief of what they're doing, when really I do nothing all day, and it's ruining my life in many regards, and it's harassment, it's illegal, it's taking my rights away from me. And that's why I say that, because I want to be open to all the good and the bad and the possible, just to make this a true possible reality that I'm seeing, and not a created, mindless, conspiracy-driven bullshit game that I want to have before my eyes. Okay? If that makes sense. Because I just have this way of thinking that I try to just be so fair and logical and just kind and loving and understanding, and I'm always look at myself as like more, all right, I'm wrong, more than I'm right. And so it's taken me a long time to even come to this place, and for a while I didn't tell anyone, and I started telling people a little more and looking more into it and just seeing if it's possible, and it is possible. Like I said, keep an open mind. Please comment or give me your perspective. Please maintain a mature and open-minded perspective on your end, and I will do the same. And thank you so much. This is Josiah Hoffman, and let's do this thing, huh? Let's open our minds. Let's be open to what this world really is and what's going on to make it a better place.